everyone, I'm Hannah and this is my schoolmate Cassandra.
We are part of the Holy Childhood Kids.
We help kids all over the world.
It's all part of life at school. Study, play, pray, have fun, and learn.
About theater arts and video editing and growing stuff to eat.
And planning for our futures and for the future of the whole world.
That's where Holy Childhood comes in.
Through Holy Childhood, kids all across Canada are helping to make the world a better place.
So join us on an adventure around the world. We will explore the lives of children who in some ways are just like us. In other ways, they live lives that are really, really different.
Together, we are the Holy Childhood Kids. Together, we can make the world a better place. Today, we are going to visit Peru. It is the third largest country in South America, after Brazil and Argentina.
The Amazon River, which starts in Peru, is the largest river in the world by volume. Peru is also home to Machu Picchu, one of the new 7 wonders of the world.
Peru is a very old country. The earliest inhabitants were there about 15,000 years ago.
Today, Peru is one of the richest countries in the world in terms of natural resources. Gold, silver, copper, zinc, lead, and iron are found across the country, and there are reserves of oil and natural gas. Even so, jobs there can be very hard to find, and Peru remains one of the world's poorest countries. Within Peru's population of 28 million, there are many different cultures represented, including Indian descendants of Peru's Aboriginal cultures. There are also Spaniards and other Europeans, plus the descendants of African slaves, and people of various Asian cultures.
Peru is 90% Catholic and home to one of the oldest missionary churches in the Americas, dating back as far as 1534.
3 of Latin America's most important saints are from Peru and were a part of the very early church there. Saint Rose of Lima is the patron of Lima, Peru's capital, and the first Native American to be canonized in the church. Her contemporary, Saint Martin Porres, was the son of an African slave.
Saint Cherubis was Peru's first archbishop and a famous champion of native rights, learning to speak their languages and defending them against the early colonizers. He was also a builder of roads, schools, and hospitals.
Saint Cherubis began the work that continues 500 years later through people like us at Holy Childhood Kids.
Of Peru's population of 28 million, there are 3.8 million people living in extreme poverty, including 2.1 million children. Many of these children live in remote and rural areas and attend schools with very few resources. In the big cities, like Lima, the poor children live in slums, and they work alongside their parents to help out with the family expenses.
La situación económica en nuestro país está...
My family is directly affected. Before we were able to manage, but as the country's economic situation worsens, so has ours. Today, the people that used to be the middle class are now the poor, which is the majority of the population. So families now have all the members of the family working to contribute to the home.
Wherever there is poverty, rural or in the cities, women are deeply affected. In the rural areas, they often run the family farm so the men can migrate to the cities for work.
And in the cities, where unemployment is very high, the jobs for women are either non-existent or very low paying. And everywhere there is a cultural bias that says men are superior to women and that abuse towards women is okay. The church is working hard at the local level to educate everyone, men, women, and children, that all this has to change.
Esa es una línea educativa que tenemos nosotros.
We discuss this problem that is rampant in our country, machismo, where the man rules the family, the wife is abused and disrespected. The boys usually learn this attitude by watching the father. So we try to educate the child. We teach that men and women are the same. Women have their own potential and abilities. She is able to contribute to the community and to transform the society.
Me entiendo de lo que es casa.
As a father, I believe in the home. I support my children's education and I keep a dialogue with my wife. We share everything.
Bueno, nuestras esperanzas.
I hope we finally attain equality, especially for the rights between the sexes and the ages. Neither adults or children are better than the other. We should all work together for the same goals.
Many children in Peru suffer high rates of malnutrition during early years of their lives. 30% of all children under 5 in Peru suffer from growth and learning delays, well above the average for Latin America of 16%. This crisis has made some of Peru's children determined to make things better when they become adults.
Siempre he querido ser.
I would like to be a doctor. I feel that by being a doctor, I will be able to help other people. Not only rich people who can afford it, but especially poor people who cannot afford a good doctor. The quality of healthcare in our society is not good. I want to continue helping people.
Already, we kids who support the Canadian Holy Childhood Society have made a huge difference. We have helped more than 500 kids. In fact, we have purchased food, educational materials, fuel, and maintenance for 2 schools. We even renovated a school.
There is a lot more to be done to help get Peru's kids educated. Peru guarantees the right to free education, and school is compulsory for children aged 6 to 18. However, for children living in small remote villages, the closest school might be too far away. And always the need for the children to work gets in the way of their studies.
If they're on the streets selling to help support their families, they're not in schools. And if they're not in schools, their chances of working their way out of poverty diminish, and so it becomes cyclical.
The church works closely with young people and their parents to get everyone to realize that school comes first. What we do at Holy Childhood by sending some funds down there to help out really means a lot to the kids of Peru. And they are getting organized.
The children and youth are really learning that they do have a voice, that they can educate themselves about their own rights, that they can take steps and organize themselves for social change, to make their own lives better.
We feel we are really partners with some of the young people of Peru who live their faith and try to make things better for themselves and everyone. It is a real example to us.
The children feel like they're little apostles. In everything that they do, they try and imitate or act as Jesus. They try and give as much as they can. They try to share their experiences. They try to help improve and take care of this world. They have to try and improve hope with sacrifice and giving in order to improve the country and the world.
Those youngsters, despite the difficulties, are happy. That's another thing that I've learned in Peru. Happiness through the difficulties. That's a way to overcome the difficulties, to be happy, to sing, to dance, to face the difficulties.
So you can see that the work of Holy Childhood is really a two-way street. The kids we help us too. They teach us about what is important in life. Things like having fun even when you don't have a lot of stuff. Things like the way kids love and care for their parents and other siblings. The way they work hard to help the family survive. And the way our gifts to them are really appreciated.
Otra cosa que he aprendido es que
when people live in Christ as a human being, they want to help. People from other countries are helping us with what they can.
It all begins with getting to know Peru's kids a little better. So join us on this great learning adventure. Do a class project based on this video on Peru. Write the Canadian Holy Childhood Association to get more background. Raise some money.
Holy Childhood will let you know how the money is spent. Above all, keep these kids in Peru in your prayers. For sure they will be praying for you. Together, all the holy childhood kids of the world are forming a huge circle of love. It's where you belong.